Beef dripping all down his
Hello.
neck.
Good start, that.
Good start. Yes, it's a dodgy beef. Welcome to Not Another Leeds podcast. How we've made it to episode 35, I have no idea. Happy Easter for everyone who celebrates it, especially me with loads of chocolate. As you can tell, I keep it all here. So we've gone through Easter. We did no podcast last week because someone went on holiday. But yeah, so Kevin is on his way. He'll be here very shortly. But the other leg to this tripod, if you will, he used to be a samurai, but then he started supporting Leeds and came over here. It's James. How are you, James?
I'm good, mate.
So good.
Oh, good. Hiya to you back as well. Yeah, it's good to see you. And our guest for this week, his parents were that much of a fan of Tony Hawk's pro skater, they named him after a trick. It's Ollie Ward. How are we, Ollie Ward? Are you good, boy?
Yes, I like that. Yeah, I'm good. How are you both?
Fatter than the last time I came on this podcast, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, fair enough.
If I eat any more Easter eggs, I'll start to look like one. But there we go. I did have one for Kev, but he's not here, so I'll have to save it till later. Right, so yeah, welcome to the podcast, everyone. Get your comments in. Tell us your favourite Easter egg. How about that? What are you partial to an Easter egg, Ollie?
I love an Easter egg. I'm more of a white chocolate man myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at me. My name's Ollie, and I'm cultured. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Controversial. But yeah, no, I love an Easter. I've eaten way too many over the last few weeks. It's just not been good. Do you know what I've been getting into recently? I've been getting into revels.
Oh,
Do you know what? Yeah, Revel Roulette.
Do you know what I mean?
Like
Rebels
like
been
it.
kicking about for years, but recently I bought way too many packs of Rebels in the last few weeks, and I'm just enjoying it every time. It sounds weird, but every time you put it in your mouth, there's a different taste.
You know what? I say that all the time, but it's normally behind the bins. So if James, this might get me cancelled, but I don't mind the coffee flavored Revels. I know.
I like that.
all of them, mate.
Yeah. By the way, Ollie, I'm gonna clip that up. James, what's your Easter egg of choice?
Oh, I don't know. I like a bit of a Toblerone, me. Like that.
Toblerone.
Yeah, bit of a rocky
Spend too
boy.
much time in
here,
airports,
like that.
you don't you?
It's like triangles, mate.
Yep, we all do like funny shapes. Now we'll go on to we'll get Kev as soon as he jumps on. Right, we're going on to the sponsor, but the thing is, because we've got a music artist in our midst today, haven't we, Ollie? Something's dropped today, and I've been listening to it ever since. And as I said on Twitter, it's all I've been looking at when I've been flexing in the mirror naked. Do you know what I mean? That's all I've been listening to. So
Poor mirror.
for those who wonder what I'm talking about, let me pick the right one. This is Ollie's song. And the link's in the description. What's it called?
Nothing to say.
Well, you'd have to be like that about it, mate. I mean, tell me the name of the song.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Nothing to Say.
Yeah,
Oh,
cool
right.
enough to say. Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's very good. I've been listening to it. Thank you for paying me to tell us about this song.
Fine.
That's how sponsors work, people.
Needs to get it out there somehow. But yeah, no, I wouldn't
Exactly.
call myself a musician. I think I just released a song. Like I wouldn't call myself a YouTuber either. Really, just make
be on
videos.
YouTube.
Yeah. So, what's the message in the song?
The
Listen to it.
message. Yeah, the message. Exactly. That's why we've got a little thing. He's my agent. You've just got to listen to the song. You get the lyrics, and a lot of people think it's about people from the past, but it's not. Okay, just listen to it and have your own thoughts. And maybe do you know what I mean? Maybe you can take it into your own life. Maybe you've got a lover. I don't know where I'm going with it. Just listen to it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Naked,
here.
like
Just have a listen.
But what's the message?
I know what this is from. What is that from? That is from
Celebrity Juice. Yeah,
Celebrity Juice.
So here it is. It's on Spotify. It's called Nothing to Say. Do listen to it. It's very good. I messaged Ollie about it earlier. It is very good. I hope to God, Ollie, for your sake, that's a red rose burning and not a white one.
It is a red one. Yeah, it was all planned.
Good.
Don't worry.
Good. That's what we like to say. Yes, everyone. Spring has sprung, just like my hamstring trying to get the bins out in time the other day. So, as we move into the Easter weekend, we played Watford on the Friday. Ollie, what was your thoughts going into Watford, mate?
I was actually more worried about Watford than I was Hull, to be fair. I think going away to Vicarage Road on a Friday, and I think there was more pressure after Ipswich won against Blackburn. And yeah, I wasn't very confident. We didn't play very well, but good teams find a way to not lose, and that's exactly what we done.
Ready? There we go.
Wow.
A bit of magic for you. A bit of Easter magic left over. Hello, Kev. How are we?
I'm all right, mate. Just been fighting some
Yeah.
pigeons outside my house. Just give them the old one too. Douche, douche. Right in their face, little twats.
What noise did the pigeons make?
However tigers make. Yeah, something like that, yeah. Yeah, I'm good. How is everyone?
Yeah. We're all good, mate. You missed
All
the
good.
intro. Ollie was
I'm a
named
tripod.
Ollie because his parents liked pro skater Tony Hawk's. James used to be a samurai, and you hold the world's biggest Furby collection. I believe it's Guinness World Record. Is that right?
I heard that. Yeah. I heard that.
It's just been overtaken.
How's it?
Mate.
With dead pigeons.
Yeah, just knocked them out. Now that's why they were here. Just give it the big one, so just give them the old one too.
Oh,
Not here
chaos. I don't think we'll make it to 36. Yeah. So, Kev, will you give us your thoughts? We're just talking over Watford, mate. What's your thoughts about Watford?
Yeah, it was shite, weren't it? Being honest, it was a crap game. It was a terrible game. We just dug in again, which we always seem to be doing recently, which is good. So yeah, crap. That's all I've got to say about that. I can't even remember it. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
it's that long ago. I hate going back over so many games when we haven't done this for a while because.
Yes.
But yeah.
And before we move on, what's your Easter egg of choice? Pivotal information.
Pigeon. Whack 'em. Just batter the eggs. Yeah.
Pigeon eggs.
Oh,
Yeah.
RSPCA is going to be knocking at my door.
Or Jalfrezi is a good one as well. That's a good Easter egg. I'm always a big fan of.
Vindaloo. Right, go on, James. Tell us about Watford, mate. What was your overall impressions of Watford?
It was difficult to watch. I felt like the break, we needed a break, but then most of our team didn't get a break because they're all playing anyway, and it could tell in that game we were sluggish for most of it. The changes that were brought in didn't really help us, but we still could have won it at the end, which is something that we've come accustomed to. So yeah, playing shit and still managing to get points, possibly win that game. I was happy at the end of it, considering how bad it was.
Yeah, it's that saying, isn't it? Like, win your home games and don't lose your away games, basically. I thought, I mean, we'll come on to Cooper in a minute, but I thought overall it were a bit flat. I thought certain players got done in, and I think the weekend as a whole, I think the internationals have absolutely done us over. You know, none. What the hell? Here we go. I nearly said something else then. Non-toe, and you know, like that. And you know, even Kamara's been playing through with illness this week as well. So, Ollie, let's talk about Cooper, mate. He wasn't a great thing against Watford, was it?
No, the thing is, he's an absolute legend, Coops, but he's just, you don't bring Cooper in now when you need to start winning games. Do you know what I mean? And you shouldn't stop that Ampadu-Joe Rodon partnership because, you know, stats alone argue just how good they've been. So I thought it was a bit silly of Farker to move the team around, but it is what it is. Like you said, internationals hasn't helped us at all. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it was a poor sort of crap performance from both teams, really. And yeah, I think probably a point apiece could have done it, but like James said, we could have won at the end. And how many times has that happened this season where we could have just gone and won it at the end, or we do go and win it at the end?
Exactly, Kev. I mean, Cooper got turned inside out like a pair of old underpants, didn't he? When Emmanuel Dennis sort of
I've got to agree with Ollie. We need to stop this sentiment FCF malarkey at Leeds, because we've been doing it for years now, and even one game he plays worries me. You know, and against a mid-table team like Watford, it worries the crap out of me. And I guess he obviously didn't want to break up that partnership, but we were just lacking. Wales playing really late and having that long slog of a game didn't help our cause either. So, yeah, just because we're that good now, with all these international players, they are going to bugger off, and we're just going to have to get used to it, especially in the Premiership next year. We'll have more. Mbappe will probably get called up for France a lot when he signs at the end of the season. So we're just going to have to put up with it, haven't we?
Wishful thinking there, mate. We'll probably sign Frappe rather than Mbappe, mate.
Yeah.
Latte
James,
lap. Latte lap. A frothy performance. James, where's Cooper stand for you?
That's what he does. He stands.
Don't it trash your house, Kev? I know Cooper's bad, but what about James? Where does he stand for you in this team now? Is it time for him to move on? Do we, put on the coaching stuff?
He got done for that goal, but I'm not going to blame him for that whole game because there was a lot of bad performances, and I thought Ampadu was absolutely terrible in midfield, if I'm being honest. I agree that should never have been changed, them two, because they've been the rock of our run, them two at the back. Felt a bit sorry for Cooper. He's come in to try and sort of fill a gap, and he has got done in, but he wasn't the only bad player, to be honest with you. But he does need to sort of take a step back now and maybe come on at the end of games if we're trying to see a game out, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I did feel a bit sorry for him there.
He's like our Matt and Keown when Arsenal were the Invincibles, aren't they? He just brings him on for the last 30 seconds and that to try and see out matches. That's what I feel like Cooper is for us right now. Great servant. And let's be honest, you probably walk into half the teams in the league. He just doesn't fill me with confidence. Yeah, just not ours. Yeah. Just not ours. But
it begs the question, why doesn't he bring Cresswell on? Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if he's left-footed, mate. Does it? I don't know. But yeah,
I like the left and right. When Strout's gone there, it's gone a bit.
Are you one of them?
Screw with. No, it just works better, and you're not taking Roden out, and you're not moving him from his position. And I don't think Cresswell. Yeah. If Cresswell's going to play, he's got to play in that right side.
Yeah,
I do think before it broke the pair up. I remember where it were like so many hours that they've not conceded in open play, and we conceded 2 straight away. Yeah. And Cooper does get an unnecessarily bit of flack. I mean, that Twitter timeline was just horrible. Yeah, I mean, you'd have thought he were responsible for the Russian invasion or something like that. You know what I mean? It was so over the top. It was unreal.
And we only drew we drew the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Which 4 points dropped. That's it.
Well, yeah, that's why the title of the podcast episode today is 4 points and no trauma, because everyone knows that as Leeds fans, we have psychological trauma. And from the previous, bank holidays, who remembers 10-man Wigan and Brentford on the Monday? I do, because I had long flowing hair when I was that Leeds fan, and now I'm receding. My hair goes as far back as the Roman Empire. There we go. So he decides to bring on Matteo Joseph, who is doing very well, and he gets 2 shots at it, Ollie. I mean, his trajectory now is coming up since Chelsea. His trajectory is just going up in it, and he's getting goals for club and country.
Yeah, I really like Matteo Joseph. I think he's a good burst of energy that you can bring on. I think I argued midweek to say that he should start, and I think maybe I'm now going against it a bit, because obviously, when we move on to the whole game, we'll probably talk about Bamford's miss. And Bamford is another one of them players, similar to Cooper, that we might need to move on soon-ish. I definitely think so. But like just quickly touching back to Cooper, and then I'll talk about Joseph again. But I actually don't think Cooper, apart from the Watford game, he hasn't had an awful season when he's played, actually, to be fair. And he's an easy scapegoat that people don't like to say when Ampadu plays bad or Somerville plays bad, because we're not allowed to say they're horrible or they're shit that game, but sometimes they can be. And I thought, going back to Matteo Joseph, I think he's doing a bit of that Joffy thing from a couple of seasons ago, where everyone's getting a bit too, oh my God, he needs to start, he needs to do this, he will save us. Too much pressure on a young kid, give him the minutes when we need to. I'm kind of going against my own word, because I was kind of saying we need to start Joseph, but now I'm kind of thinking he's a brilliant sort of player to bring on 60, 70 minutes into a game, because defenses get worried about him, similar to like Dan James when he comes on. I know obviously Nonto's been injured, so he's been starting, and Dan's had a brilliant season, but just the pace to bring on defenses. I mean, Louis Coyle didn't know what hit him when Mateo Joseph came on Monday night.
Broke his back.
Yeah, literally.
Because he's been carrying the whole defence that game. That's why he went off. Mateo Joseph, Kev, only way is up.
He was good when he was English. He's even better now that he's Spanish. Honestly, he's really good, and I really like him. I think he's probably the most natural Patrick Bamford replacement we've got in the squad. The way he runs around, the way he holds the ball up, he's a pest, and he's like flies around shit most of the time. He just does not give anybody any space, and I think he's gonna have a big career. I've got to agree with Ollie here that I don't think he's ready to start the game tomorrow. And I do think it'll be Patrick Bamford that leads the line. Go back to the Joffrey thing. I remember Joffrey saved us from relegation, basically, didn't he? That season we stayed up. And we all thought he was going to go on to be the best young English striker there is around. Chairman at the time, Radrazani, was saying, we've got the best hot young prospect in the league. And then it just, I don't know if he believed his own height, but he just fell off. And I don't want the same thing to happen to Joseph. We need to sparingly play these young lads. And I agree the same about Cresswell as well, but I just don't think I can see something in Cresswell. If we could go back to that, I think he thinks that he's just not good enough in my eyes, as he would have played a lot more. So yeah.
No,
I don't think
there
that.
is context.
Yeah, you do.
Go on then.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
go on then.
I just think Rodon's just been undroppable, and that's it. And he's just been unfortunate to be behind him. Because if he thought that, he would have let him go out on loan in January, or got rid of him in January. But I think he's just not been able to get in the team, and that's it. And no one is taking Rodon out.
I think obviously with Cresswell, he signed a 5-year deal. I think it was in the summer or the summer before, and he's got all these years just to sell him a youth prospect who was captain of the England team at under 21 level. He won the tournament as well. I just think it'd be silly just to get rid of him straight away with all them years on his contract. I think maybe next year plays a part. Maybe goes out on loan and does a Ben White. Do you know what I mean? We don't know. I mean, I like Cresswell. I think he's good. He just needs to get his minutes. But under Farke has obviously seen something that we haven't.
But
Sorry,
Danny, to cut you off. But don't you think we've been saying that for a couple of seasons now about Cresswell?
Yeah.
About how he was going to. People say he was going to be the starting centre half at this season, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I really rate Cresswell, and I think he is brilliant. And I kind of agree with the fact I don't think that Farke doesn't rate him. I think it's the fact that you're not replacing Joe Rodon. But if Joe Rodon does get injured, I don't know if Farke necessarily. I think Farke would rather do Ampadu at right back and put Cooper at left centre back instead of bringing on Cresswell. Personally, I agree.
I agree.
So I don't know what the best thing is for Charlie Cresswell's sort of. I think financially Leeds can't just sell him, but maybe another loan for him. But then he might not want that. I think there's a talented player there, but I don't know. There's some weird thing that it doesn't help with the whole attitude problem and stuff that happened at the start of the season. I don't think that trust, like, he's in Farke's good books, but Nonto's the same sort of situation. It's hard. We're just fans speculating, aren't we? Really?
Yeah, basically, that's what it is. But his old man popped up and said a few lines as well, didn't he? Obviously hasn't helped his cause as well. So that's a strange one.
Well, he's just texted me and he says you're spot on, Danny. Sorry, so Cresswell. I'll take it from Cresswell's mouth rather than 3 fans on a podcast.
Cresswell's fingers actually. If you text you,
yeah. So overall, the Watford game was a bit flat, wasn't it? I don't think any of us expected to just get a lucky draw, if you will. But yeah, so I mean, the silver lining of the weekend is that Leicester lost and their fans went into total meltdown. I don't know how they keep doing it, but Ipswich just keep winning by luck. Somewhere out there's an Ipswich fan with a fucking genie lamp, and I'm telling you now, it's unbelievable. We'll move on to the Hull game then. So Hull, Monday night, Kevin. Were you pooping your pants?
Before the game, a little bit. During the game, even more. The way we were playing, the way our midfield was overrun, the way they were knocking it around us for fun. Honestly, I'll put it in the group chat, didn't I? Because we're winning this. And then you said the same thing, didn't you, Danny? And it was just, then James was like, "Yeah, we're definitely going to win this." Of course, as he always does. But I've honestly thought that was our banana skin towards the end of the season was Hull, because that Philigine's a good player as well. But it was their centre midfield that they're dominating the game, especially like around actually Gray, especially they just nipping it around him loads. And I thought Philogene would be the man, but I thought Byron did dealt with him quite well. It was just that centre midfield for me. We were just getting played off the park. It's like Hull were like Man City, and we were Leeds when we were in the Premiership. That's what it felt like. Yeah. It was just mad.
It was crazy, wasn't it? Like I remember watching it and thinking, "Wow, they're playing some good stuff." All in the middle, and I was like, "What are we doing here?" But then I think Byron kept Philogene relatively quiet. What were your thoughts, Ollie?
I think Sam Byram actually done a really good job. I didn't spot it at first when I first was watching it. I thought he was getting. I thought Sam Byram struggled in the first sort of 5-10 until he got his goal, and then he sort of figured out what Philogene was doing. And I thought, I think I said this a couple of days ago when I reacted to the game. What Byram does quite a lot, though, and it's credit because he had a brilliant game, but what he does quite a lot is he actually backs off his man quite a lot if you watch it. And actually, Philogene gets closer and closer to the box when actually sometimes Sam just needs to step up. I don't know if you guys noticed that as well, but what he does is, I don't know, he backs off, and he had a couple of chances, Philogene, where he actually opened his body up and tried to stick it, into the top corner. So I think sometimes what he was doing well was when he was close up against him. But sometimes you just let him, get closer than he needed to be. But overall, I mean, I agree with the points that we didn't play well. But again, at this point with 6 games to go, points matter, don't they? Not performances. You never look back at the performances. But sometimes, bad performances then stem bad results. I think there was a lot of pressure with Ipswich winning in the 97th minute. I thought if Ipswich, got... just to say 97th minute just sounds stupid, doesn't it? But just if they got a point there, I thought there'd be less pressure on Leeds. But we had to win it, and I think it's a must win throughout the last 6 games. Now it's just getting really worrying.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy to say that there's only 6 games left, so many points to play for, and there's like 3 points between us. Like 1 point between us and third, 1 point between us and first, and it's like any slip up from any team now could. We've seen Southampton. That I think they're in the playoffs now. I don't think they'll be able to. Automatics are gone for them. They're preparing. Hopefully, the last game of the season, they'll think, right, we've got the playoffs in 2 weeks' time. Let's just let Leeds hammer us just so they can go up. But it was just like me and Kev were saying in the group chat, I just don't see how we can get out of this. And then they go and score, and James is like, "Shut up, you both negative gimps. We're going to win this." And then we'll talk about the first goal. Then James, what a goal! The goal happened.
It was a goal. Yeah,
rolled down his eyeball, didn't it? Or Sam Byram.
I think he said it hit his teeth, didn't it? Yeah.
With his beautiful veneers, it came in.
He started the move up as well, didn't he? He got the tackle, and then Georgie did his thing, and then Somerville did his thing, shot, and the keeper saved it.
Yeah.
And then he was just there at the back post. I don't know what he was looking for. I don't know why I thought he was offside, but we scored, and then we just sort of let them have the ball for the rest of the game.
I love the fact that he ran off celebrating, and he was like, "Is it my goal? Is it mine?" He didn't know whether to celebrate or not. 9 minutes in, we're 1-0 up, Ollie. Do your feelings change? Are you buzzing? Are you through the roof? I know you do watch-alongs as well, don't you?
No.
Oh. You used to, though.
Yeah. I used to, mate. Good fan. Good fan you are.
See.
No, I was kind of. I mean, I was more relaxed.
Delete that.
Yeah. I was more relaxed after the goal went in, but as a Leeds fan over the years, you can't just relax after one goal, can you? It's not possible. So, and like you said, Hull kept the ball for up until about the 82nd minute until we got that penalty. So it wasn't really too. I don't know. I thought it was one of them games that I feel like we're going to get a lot of them in the last 6. There's not going to be a game where Leeds are 3-0 up at half time and we're cruising. I think we're going to get a lot of games like that come the end of the season. But yeah, hopefully. But yeah, it was all right. It was okay. I was feeling all right.
Yeah. I mean, I was buzzing 9 minutes in. And then the only thing I feel like is that if Hull had an actual number 9, there would have been maybe 1 or 2 in the first couple of minutes, because there were some really good crosses that came in through our box. The one where Byram had to put it out, he had loads of time, but no one told him that, but it was straight across his box. Like, Carvalho's not a 9, is he? He's not an out and out number 9. He's obviously an attacking mid, number 10 role sort of guy. But I mean, James, 9 minutes in, I think it was like 20 minutes in or something, they equalised from a good goal, really, from Carvalho's point of view. Alarm, you're the most positive person I've ever met when it comes to Leeds United. We could be down 99-0 and you'd think we win 100-99. But
we need people like me, mate.
Were alarm bells going off, mate?
I say alarm bells. It was like I was disappointed with the way we were playing, but hearing after the game, the injuries that we had, the illnesses that we had, we still contained them pretty well. They did have a lot of the ball and they were knocking it around well, but we were sort of kept our shape. And apart from that shot, apart from the goal, Meslier didn't really make any saves, many saves again. So yeah, I was happy with the fact that we was containing them, and I was always confident that we'd get a chance. Always confident that it would happen. So yeah.
Kevin, what about you? What with the 1-1?
Yeah, it was all right. No, I honestly thought we were going to, after with the way the game was going, I just thought we were going to lose, and I agree with James. They didn't have much going on, but it's kind of like a blueprint to play against Leeds, just knock it around the middle at the moment, and you agree with Ollie. Everyone's just going to start doing that against us. But yeah, well, as long as we keep grinding out these results, I can't really complain too much. And the draw against Watford's not going to look that bad at the end of the season, and the win against Hull in space of 4 days once we take the Championship trophy. So yeah, it's going to be good.
We're missing Groove, don't you think, Kev?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah, massively. The Groove is in the heart of our team, and that's where we need him. He's all right. He is. Yeah, hopefully he's back tomorrow. I haven't watched the press conference yet because I've been out and about punching pigeons. Yeah, so
I'll just text him now, see what he says.
I think it's
by
touch
the
and
looks
go.
of it. Yeah.
I'm not going to punch canaries though, because they're wow sound. I love canaries. The canaries are like the greatest animal on earth. Yeah, absolutely love
down their
canaries.
minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case you got a mind, you shove a canary down there. I mean, Ollie, and then Somerville does his thing. He gets around the player. Was it a foul for you? And what he did to do with Perot, mate, he went into the locker room and he grabbed his balls out of the freezer because there's ice in his veins. He's got balls of fucking ice. You could see Perot just going, I need it, bro, on the TV, and he slots it away, mate. I mean, what? Cold as ice, no?
I mean, first of all, I think it was a penalty. I think he's running in stupidly because I can't remember the bloke's name, but I thought he actually had an all right game, to be fair to him. And then he goes and does something stupid like that. And the whole Somerville Perot thing, I feel like it happens in football. I think typical as Leeds fans, we've blown it up, especially after the game as well, the whole man of the match thing. I don't know if you guys saw that on Twitter. That was going crazy about who got man of the match. Just like, at this point in the season, do you actually really care? And at the end of the day, Somerville stuck the ball in the back of the net. And like Perot, yeah, maybe he was. Farker kind of touched on that. I wanted Somerville to take it because of this. I think he was kind of just saving Somerville's back a bit because Perot came on before against Preston and took the penalty when we needed it in the 94th minute. So I think he's just trying to keep everyone happy. And Perot celebrated with him. I think we just drawn a line at that. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're going to trust anyone, you're going to trust, potentially the player of the year in the Championship, Somerville, to stick that ball in the back of the net.
They said Philogene was better than Somerville, by the way. They in broad daylight, hand on heart, said that Philogene was better than Somerville. Now, I had loads of Hull fans in my mentions over the this week because I posted this photo, which I'm about to show you. And as you can tell, they didn't react to it. And when I posted this, Ollie, I don't know if you've seen it over the week. The caption was Hull fans watching the Dan James goal go in. And this was what I put. And he got a bit of traction. So I just muted it so they can argue with themselves. But yeah, we'll move on to the Dan James goal. It's the 90-odd minute, Kev. You know, we're knocking back deflections and stuff. Rutter does a pirouette, and that's pirouette. I'll explain after, Ollie.
Okay, cheers.
And you're thinking, what on earth is going on? Why has he done that? But then we get it out, and then Pirot gets an assist by tapping it to Dan James. And then lo and behold, he turns it into an artillery cannon and fires it from halfway, 50 yards. Kevin, what were you saying? Run it to the corner, or were you just like watching it trickle?
I wanted to hit it. And I'll be honest with you, 2 years ago, Dan James would have hit the corner flag with that. He honestly would have done. That's what I mean. He would have just sliced it all the way and tried to chase it down the pitch. He's got so much confidence at the moment, hasn't he? Even after that miss for Wales, which is a shame, but he's on it. This is the best season of his career, and yeah, honestly, that's so hard to do when you're running at pace as well, and you're being pressed by a Hull player. That's brilliant, and we won't see him do that ever again. And hopefully we won't be in that position where goalkeepers have to run up to the last minute. But yeah, fair play to him for that. He's really good. I'm just really chuffed for Dan James because he was written off at the start of the year because we all thought Nonto, Sinistera, and that were all going to be starting, Somerville, and he's just been one of the best players for the team this year. So yeah, I'm really, really happy for Dan James, and I hope it continues.
Best and consistent players as well. And Hull fans were singing "You Let Your Country Down," and he goes and does that. Justice, wasn't it, James?
Sorry, weren't he a Hull graduate from their academy
was,
as
yeah.
well? Like that's where he comes from.
It's that day of Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
They're like emo haircuts. Have you seen the photo of Harry Maguire and Dan James, the emo haircuts?
Dan James is sitting on his shoulder like a little.
When I was a young boy. Anyway, moving on. What was the goal like for you, James? Dan James' goal. Was it elation?
I just liked that we put it to bed. 3-1 sounded better than 2-1 for me. So yeah, nice little finish from where
the result looked like we battered them, but in fact we just got it over the line right in the 96th minute or whatever it was. But yeah, what about you? We'll come to you, Ollie, about the Dan James goal. Did your socks fly off?
They did. I was crediting Perot because I thought, it's actually a lovely little ball to Dan James, and I think it shows the people who have played football from the people who don't know football when they just say that goal was easy, there's no one in goal, and you're like, okay, you just don't. You've never played football, then I guess, because if I try and do that, that ain't happening. So it was good, and like you said, 3-1 sounds a lot better than 2-1, and probably wasn't deserved that score margin, but at the end of the day, who cares? We're winning the league. Who cares?
Exactly.
It was a very stressful game, though. Wow, stressful game to watch that was the other night. Honestly, I swear, when that went in, everything, just all that stress that I went through, I could feel it going through me. Just all left my body after that goal. And I said, Dan James, thanks, mate. Honestly, after games like that for Leeds, I can't sleep. Cannot sleep. So I'm going mental.
They are horrible. Honestly, in the 60th, 70th minute, my match reaction was going to be so much different to about 20 minutes later. I was furious, and then I was like, "What a brilliant result!" So
I've seen your reviews, Ollie, where you've given both barrels, and and it's a fair review to be honest. We've got a comment here from Lee Elms. It's a good comment as well. He says Farker said game plan was to let them have the ball in midfield because our threadbare midfield and them having 6 in midfield, and not to panic, to trust the plan. I say master plan. I should have read that in the German accent, but I think. Kev, do you agree with that, mate? Do you agree with that? Do you think he played it well?
Well, if that's what to let them have the ball for most of the game was his master plan, then yeah, it worked because they had the ball. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. For a team like us that dominate the ball for whole of the season, change our game plan for one game to let them have 6 the ball for a game. I'm not too sure about that, but maybe he just said it. But he's the gaffer and he's won. I've got nothing to say to him. He's unbeaten in 2024. There's nothing I can say that can any detriment to Daniel Farker because he knows everything. I know nothing. I'll just punch pigeons. That's it. Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm here for, and that's it.
The pigeon puncher. Someone's going to make a comic of that. Ollie, I've got a task for you, mate. If you in your best singing voice, because you are an artiste, Lee Elms again has put, for fuck's sake, let's find DJ Chant. So I'll leave it to you.
Just
In
now
your
the
best
DJ
harmonious
saved my
voice.
life. Sorry.
What?
Yeah,
no,
something like
hey,
that would be
there we
good.
go.
Oh,
Yeah.
James, you've
James,
given
take
an
it up from
idea.
you. There we go. Wait, have I got to
Right,
come up with one? Have I?
Yeah. 3,
Yep.
2, 1.
Want 3 choruses and a verse.
Yeah.
Or
No,
the
I'm
other way
joking,
around.
mate. I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
I'll give you one
I've
at the
got-
end. At the end.
Yeah, I've got one. You ready?
Yes.
Dan
done.
James. Dan James. Dan James. It's like the Chelsea one, but you replace it with Dan James.
I can make one up off the top of my head, easy, I reckon. All right.
Go on.
Do you want me to?
Don't get
All right.
right.
Yeah,
All
go
right.
on.
Before anyone,
Okay.
and
Pigeons.
before any encouragement, do not get us banned. I have
All right.
to
Someone
say
help me.
Kev.
All right. Someone help me out. Yeah. No, that's not it, James. It could be Dan James shit off a stick. He went to Scum when he was a dick. He plays for Leeds now. The rest of it can be something like that. But that's a great start for a tune, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
that
see
was
what
good,
I mean?
that was- yeah.
So good.
Oh,
Get that ringing
I'm
round
gonna
Ellen Road.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
Timberland and Justin Timberlake to phone me in a minute. Let's sort it out. About the pigeon rap. Something like that. Yeah.
Timberland. Well, you'd be
Yeah.
better off getting P Diddy ringing you than Timberland.
Too soon, Daddy. Too
Whoa.
soon, mate. Yeah.
It's not too
Yeah.
soon. He's still on the run.
He's embroiled in a
If
court
you are
case,
watching
mate.
this-
Leave him alone.
If you are watching this, P Diddy, hand yourself in. So the right thing to do, because I know he's a regular watcher, and he
You
needs
should
to
have known.
do the right thing.
Puff Daddy. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, don't take the Lord's name in vain. Just after Easter. Right. So before we get banned, we might as well finish the episode. We're going to go on to guess the player now. Ollie, I know you look like playing guess the player. You did your own guess the player on your own channel, didn't you, the other day? This is somewhat different, more of a visual experience. So what I'll do is I'll put a player on the screen. You've got about 5 seconds just to take in the information with your eyeballs. These things here.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll give you a clue. This player was really big in the 90s. So here it is.
When I wasn't born. That's
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
youngster, isn't he? Yeah.
yeah, mate. I'm 2001. I'm a youngster.
Ah,
Fucking hell.
Oh no, I was watching Alan Smith for that age. Do you know what I mean? That's why old I am. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
know
guys.
what you mean.
Didn't mean to bring a downer to all that, but yeah.
I left secondary school in 2001. I think is that correct,
oh,
James?
I bet you've still. I
We're
bet your
supposed
back
to leave
works,
at
doesn't it?
2001, Kev, but I think we
Yeah.
left
Oh, yeah.
a bit before that, didn't we?
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah.
I bet when Ollie stands up, his knees don't creak. I bet he's that young. Do you know what I mean?
Nah,
Yeah,
they do
something
though.
like that.
That's worrying, isn't it? They do. But yeah.
Right.
Go
He
on.
just bounces up.
So this is this week's guess the player. So who do you think this player is? By the way, great keeper's shirt there. Bring it back, I say. And that is your time. If you had to guess who that is in the 90s era, you are well versed in footballing knowledge. So I'll go with you first, Ollie. Let's get you a guess. If you had to guess who it was, you can, just throw a random name out there if you want.
Tell me you haven't watched the show without watching the television. You haven't watched the show.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it is. I just know it's not him.
Blackburn.
The first,
Think
the
Blackburn.
first name that's come to my head is Paul Robinson, but I know it's not him.
Ooh.
It could be.
No, because he played Blackburn. Did he play Blackburn a lot later though?
It might
Yeah,
have done.
definitely a lot later than
I'm
that.
saying
I'd
Paul
say,
Robinson anyway.
Yeah.
Paul Robinson, right. Well, you catch it, that's locked in. Your answer is locked in. Kevin, who are you thinking it is?
I'm thinking it's either Tim Flowers or Chris Jericho from wrestling. One of the two. It's got to be one of the two. Yeah.
Nearly. You nearly.
Who do you think it
nearly
is,
got wrong, mate.
James?
It is a Chris, but it's a Chris Akabusi.
Yeah. Chris Akabusi is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
All is just like, what the fuck have I?
No, I've gone for a sensible.
twigged on.
Yeah, I'm
You've
so
twigged
sorry,
on.
guys. I thought it was. I thought it was actually Chris. Chris Evans, actually. as
Chris
well.
Evans. There you go. He was around that era, weren't he? Yeah.
But we've got Bart Simpson by War Piglet. Hello, mate. Nice to see you again. And we've got Timmy Mallet in that shirt, which is not a bad answer.
That's good.
Um,
Wackaday.
shall I put you out your misery, Ollie? Who do you think it is?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he comes straight from hell. It's Kane. He was on loan. He was on loan in the 90s. I said
That
he
fits so
would
perfect as well.
It does.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
It does.
Chris
If
Jericho
you-
wasn't too far away.
there it-
Yeah. I know. What's
Yeah.
going on? Yeah.
That's
I
half
was
a
far
point,
off.
surely.
That's
Yeah.
the old
I
mask
must-
for Peter checks.
I must admit, the old bumhole were like 5p. Does be led when he said a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can tell, Ollie, we probably won't see Ollie again on this show. If I'm being honest with you,
Yeah,
he's
that-
probably he's had enough. He's had enough.
That's
but
up,
yeah,
that's
that
up
is this
there
week.
with saying I still do watch-alongs, I think.
I am sorry, mate. I could have swore it with you.
Tell him you don't know you to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Right then, so we'll go on to some news. Did you watch the FA Cup youth? Anybody watch that?
Highlights of it.
I watched bits of it, but not all of it.
Some shit goals in there, weren't there?
Well, against Millwall, I think it's the first time we've got to the final in about 27 years. They've got some good players coming through, some good goals, like you say, with an own goal and stuff like that. But if you didn't watch it, if nobody watched it, I won't talk about it. Right, Nonto sacks his agent. Now, obviously, we had all that rubbish that went on at the beginning of the season. Is that the great move for him, Ollie? Do you think he'll pick someone better that's more rather money orientated?
Yeah, you'd like to think so. I think what he's actually done is he's been quite professional about it all, really, since it's happened. Obviously, Farkas let him back in, and he's hit decent form, obviously, till he got injured. So, yeah, hopefully, I can actually see him being rewarded with a new contract in the summer, personally, depending what league we're in. But yeah, no, happy for him. Hopefully, he just continues his form because he's a hell of a player in there. But there's been some points of this season where I thought, what does he actually bring to the team? And then something hit, I think it was 2024, he started just remembering he's a footballer again.
When he started using his left foot, that was when
Yeah.
he was. When he started using his left foot, yeah.
What's
He
his
started
name?
becoming
Said he couldn't
a
do it.
class. Yeah, that was hilarious.
We had a guest on the show, Ollie, Ellis from Derby days, and he said that I don't know if you've ever seen Nonto use his left foot, but he's shocking. And ever since he said that, he scored about 7 goals with his left foot or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time Nonto scores with his left foot, I'm just laughing emojis towards Ellis. Now some of the links have been popping up, and apparently that you've got teams like Porto, you've got Arsenal and stuff like that. You can see him. If we don't get promoted, does Somerville go?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
If we don't go up, he's gone. A few of them will go, and not even because they're good. We'll have to get rid of them just for money reasons. But yeah, he'll be gone, and it's obvious he's been amazing. So he's going to be linked with a lot of teams. A lot of teams are going to want him. He's really good, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, how better to advertise yourself than in the Championship? He's our top goal scorer. I think it's 17 with 8 assists. But Dan James is having a good season. I think Rutter's having a good season. Well, the past few games for me has been a bit off, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Now,
Well, Somerville and Nonto are huge assets for Leeds, due to not just because of the value, is because of the fact what we paid for them. And with the money that we paid for them, it's for that profit and sustainability rules that everyone seems to be getting caught out on. For the money we paid for Nonto and Somerville, they'd probably be the biggest assets that we would sell, because we'd probably get 50 million minimum for the pair of them, and that would be straight profit for the squad. So you wouldn't have to sell your Rutters, your Dan Jameses, and that. You just need to get rid of them too, which I don't want to. But yeah, if you looked at it from that point of view, it's them two are the biggest marketable assets Leeds have got.
If we don't go up, Rutter, Somerville go, and we bring in Ryan Kent. I think that's what we'll do.
Ryan Kent and Jack Clark we have to just replace them two. That's what it'll end up being, something like that. But
I'm at the point where can we just sign Ryan Kent just so the links just piss off? I've had enough of seeing Ryan Kent. I didn't want him back.
Windows gone. I
actually think if we don't go up, I actually don't think Rutter goes.
Neither do I. Yeah, I think he stays.
I can see that.
I just how much we paid for him. I just don't see it. I see Somerville and Nonto going, and maybe Archie. I don't know if someone's going to try and snap him for Archie. We wouldn't sign Joe Roden on a permanent, but apart from that, I don't see I don't know. Let's not bring it into existence.
Yeah,
we're going to be in the Premier League. It's fine.
But yeah, I agree. Rutter stays anyway. Rutter stays, and Nonto and Somerville probably would look to move on.
Maybe Melier would get snapped up as well. Maybe, I don't know.
Do you want him to go, Ollie? Would you replace Melier?
Yeah, I would personally. I don't think he deserves the amount of stick that he gets, but I also don't think. I don't think he's brilliant personally, but again, he's young and it's hard to be too critical on him. But I think, he's got the most clean sheets in the league this year, but I don't think a lot of that is necessarily down to him. I think he just hasn't had a lot of shots faced, like we spoke about earlier. The one shot he really had to face against Hull was the Carvalho effort, and he didn't save it. Yeah, he shouldn't really save it. It was a good goal, but he hasn't had a lot of testing. And yeah, he made that brilliant save against Leicester earlier on in the season, and he's made some good saves here and there. But yeah, I think he's replaceable, definitely. But yeah, I think he's all right. You know what I mean? For me, he's all right. He's not out this world, but he's not as bad as some people think he is.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. Right, so I know the last bit, Sky have monumentally pissed me off. Not only do they fucking take the piss, they stalk me. They're like an ex-girlfriend that just won't leave me alone. They send me letters, texts, emails, you name it. And now they've gone and rearranged a game where we had 6-7 days in between games. I think it was a QPR game. They've rearranged to now 3. Now, I know that Ipswich and Leicester have it worse than us, but still, they've rearranged the game. I mean, where do you stand on the Sky thing, James?
I don't give a shit about Sky. I hate them.
Well, I do. I do, because it's 3 days between. We play on the Monday and then we play on the Friday, and that's not a lot of.
Yeah, but we'll still win anyway, so don't worry about it. We'll just win quicker, won't we?
See what I mean, Ollie?
Rate it.
Yeah.
So we're good.
I think the only good thing that comes from this is from the game changes that we play before everybody else now on that weekend, by the look of it, I think. And we put the pressure on them instead of us being a chasing pack, which we have been now for the last couple of games, I suppose. But yeah, I don't like it at all. We had 6 days rest. Yeah, now it's free.
I'll just ask a quick question around here, right? It's just quick fire. So, James, are you asked about winning, or as long as we go up? So, do you want the championship title, or do you just want automatics, no matter which one it is?
I just want to go up, but we'll win the title as well.
Ollie?
I want the title, but also, couldn't really care.
Kev?
Yeah, I agree. The same as everyone else. So I think I want to go up, but yeah, I think that we'll win the title as well. Yeah.
So overall, nobody cares that I asked the question. Right, okay, I'll just
Shit question. Bye-bye.
Don't ask shit questions again. Right, that's that. So we'll move on to Coventry predictions tomorrow. Ollie, do you have a vibe about the game tomorrow? Do you think they are playing well. Thames is in form. They battered Huddersfield the other week. Yeah.
Lost to Cardiff.
Lost to Cardiff at home.
Lost to Cardiff at home. So I know it's a derby for these two.
It's a big game for us. Yeah, very big game for them. Well, you know what I mean. Personally, for banter-wise, it's a very big game banter-wise. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Obviously, living in Coventry.
Sky Blue in their family, basically.
Yeah.
So, Ollie, I mean, what's your vibe? Do you think hopefully Gruev comes up, turns up, and starts? But are you confident?
I think I've just got to see how Ipswich Norwich gets on, really. And that'll kind of put me in the middle. Realistically, what might happen is that I feel we'll mirror Ipswich for the last 6 games. I honestly do. I think if they lose, we'll lose. If they win, we'll go and win. I think they'll probably, because Ipswich haven't beaten Norwich since 2009, and I think they will tomorrow, personally. And then I think that just kind of, it gives us, it's then more pressure for Leeds to win. But I'm nervous because there's 6 games left. I wouldn't necessarily be, if we played this game 2-3 months ago, I'd be like, yeah, they're a good team, but I think we're good enough to win. But I think because of the situation that we're in, I think it would be lying if we said we weren't a little bit nervous about this game.
Yeah. Kevin, are you James and Kev, is a lot of reputation on the line for you two, especially where you live, and in the family there's some Sky Blues?
A little bit. I can't see this being an easy game tomorrow. They've
been made.
They've got big, fast strikers, and some tend not to do well against those. Look at the Watford game. Their front three terrorised us for that first half, 30 minutes in that match. There's a lot riding on this game for me personally, as well as Leeds as well. So yeah, I am papping it a bit, but in my heart, I think we're going to win. I really do, and I think 3-1. I'm going to go for. Yeah.
James. I know you're going to be positive anyway.
I'm absolutely calm about tomorrow. I think if we've had a bit of a rest, I think if our players are not ill and they can run, like apparently Borum couldn't run for the second half. So if we're all
season?
Well, yeah.
Harsh on Sam.
Sorry. I'll just text him now. Sorry. Yeah.
He's blocked you anyway. Yeah, I'm comfortable. I think if we're on form, I think they'll have the bit of the ball and they'll try and have a shot. I reckon, but I reckon we'll get a clean sheet tomorrow.
Hopefully, yeah. But Ollie, is it same as Monday for you? Do you change the team? Hopefully, assuming that Gruev is in there.
He kind of touched on Gruev, didn't he? He kind of said that he might be a possibility, but he hasn't trained yet or something like that. So I don't know if it's one of them mind game things that he will be ready or he just really won't be in the team at all. I think when if he goes with Kamara and Archie, I feel like sometimes I see they just kind of just doing sort of the same sort of things. And Archie, for me, I'd like him to just, actually push forward more. But it seems actually the opposite, that Glenn pushes forward more. But I feel like I would go with the same team, really, unless Gruev's there. And then I maybe would drop Sam, put Archie at right back and chuck Gruev back in there with Glenn Kamara. But yeah, we'll see. We've definitely got. We've got the best team in the league. I think on paper, we've got enough to beat Coventry. But it's just if Leeds want to turn up, and I think Farker is taking the Leedsiness out of Leeds. He's breaking records for the right reasons at the moment, which is good. And I have more confidence in us to do the job now than I have over previous years, because sometimes you go, Leeds are going to do a Leeds, and right now, we've still got 6 games to go, but we haven't really had a massive Leedsy sort of spell yet. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Bloody jinxed
it. Just put that into the universe. Yeah. You put it into the universe. But whatever Kev says doesn't come true. He's like the opposite of a jinx, whatever that is. A jinx. I don't know how you say that.
A shing.
A shing. Yeah. I want to ask something actually. Going back to the Hull game, did the Gray and Kamara pairing work for you guys? So Kev, I thought I prefer now. This is just me from seeing Archie Gray this season. I prefer him at right back at the minute. I just don't think it sort of worked. But if that was the game plan to have them, have the ball, did it work for you, Kev? But just touching on it right fast.
No, I've got to go with Ollie. If Gruev's in, I'd put Archie at right back tomorrow and just go back to that team that was decimating everybody apart from Nonto. Yeah, I'd go back. Gruev goes straight back in if he's fit. Archie goes to right back. And yeah, that's what I would do. That's me personally. I'm not the gaffer, He asked me some advice sometimes.
Sure.
But yeah, not today.
What about you, James, right quick?
I think there was definitely a plan not to press Hull. And you can see that we did sit off them and we sort of sat in our shape. Because they do set traps, almost Brighton-esque, but not as good. For that press and knock it around you. And I think that was a game plan. So they were sort of nullified in what they could do. But yeah, I think when we did get the ball, there was a lot of hoofing, which we haven't seen a lot this season. So I'm hoping we don't do that again and we just knock it about a bit better. But
I also think Farker said that at the end, because kind of it's a win-win in it for him. He was like, that was all part of my game plan, them having the ball for 90 minutes. It's like, was it though? But I think we'll be all right against Coventry. Yeah.
Let's get some predictions. I know you say 3-1, Kev. James, I bet you're going to go something like 6-0 or something.
No, I'll go 4-0. Just 4-0.
All right. Okay. Keeping it real, Ollie, let's get a prediction, buddy.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
2-1. I'm going to say 2-0 Leeds. I think we'll get an early goal. I think we'll score in each half. Dan James with an overhead kick to land on his feet and do the thing. Right, so that's all the games covered. So now what we do now, Ollie, is we do a thing called Top Knob. So what we do is we nominate someone and we put them in the middle, and then I'm the casting vote. So then we'll nominate them for Top Knob. So let's get into this week's Top Knob.
Top Knob.
Best jingles in the game. Right. So, Ollie, I'll let you think about yours, buddy. Kev, who's your topus nobus, as they say in Latin?
I've got to go. I really have to do this. It's got to be the pigeons that right. So my house when I go home has to be them. Honestly, it has to be. I know I've mentioned pigeons a few times, but yeah, it's got to be them. Or Chris Wilder, because he's just a dick. Hate him as well. I'm glad he's getting smashed all over the place. But yeah,
Got a bit excited at the weekend, didn't he? Kicking the ball.
He
Who do you
did.
think he is? The ham-loving idiot. Lover, yeah. James, who's your topus nobus?
I'm gonna nominate something that I've nominated previously because every time it comes around, it pisses me off. But for a different reason this time, because it sort of fucked us up a little bit, injuring our players. So I'm gonna nominate the international break for breaking some of our players.
Do you know what? I think the international break is top of the knobs. You know, I think he's overtaken Radrazani. Because he got nominated the first 2 weeks. We did it, and So, what about you, Ollie, mate? Who's your topus nobus?
Probably my dog.
Okay.
Just
You
because
you sound like a town fan.
No, he. He's playing hard to get. No, he.
Not putting out.
No, he.
Not wearing the sexy underwear. I got it. Sorry, too far.
He just had me up. Oh wait, you know what? Here we go. How am I going to word this?
Oh my god. Yeah.
He was not because of anything happened before, but he was sick all night, and he had me up all night, and we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Ooh.
At least he wasn't sick in the morning. They'd be more worried then, mate. Yeah.
Chemist soap on at that time. I was going to nominate Sky for because Sky Sports Leeds, aren't we? I'm sick of them. But I think I'm going to nominate all of them. I think because I'm in a really good mood, and being in a good mood is brilliant. Absolute chaos on this podcast, Ollie. I hope you know we've probably ruined your reputation, but all of them are this week's top knobs.
Top knob.
Now we are on to the last segment, Ollie. We don't like to brag, but we're actually kind of secret millionaires, Ollie. Because of all the obviously, because all of the sponsor money that comes in. I've actually built a supercomputer, and what it does, it generates questions or queries and stuff like that we have to answer as a panel. Are you ready to meet? Oh, you die. Yeah, it's got a gun fitting next to it. Are you ready to meet the NALP 3000?
I definitely am, yes.
Here we go. Beep.
Calculating. Question found. Would you rather live in space with Ollie or underwater with Rudy Austin? Danny, I found some flights to Turkey so you can sort that hairline out.
Every week. Every week it has a go at me. I don't know. I give it life, and it gives me that. Right. So I'll come to Kev first. What would you rather do with Elioski or Rudy Austin? He needs to learn English.
I've got to go with Rudy Austin, man. No sharks coming near me under the sea if Rudy Austin's around. He'll just lever him onto land. He's that much of a beast. So yeah, I'm going to go Rudy Austin, mate. Thank you.
Rudy Austin, yeah. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Don't thank me. Thank the NALP 3000. James?
I'm going in space with Alioski.
Two nutters in a can.
Because he's absolute hilarious and he'll just keep me laughing. And two, I can prove whether this earth is round or flat.
Oh, don't start him off.
Don't invite them. I've just got rid of the USMT fans. I do not want any of them. Thank God Gilly's not here. Shout out to Gilly from Ought to Know Better. He's constantly in the trenches. Every time I go through my timeline, it's always him having to go with a flat earther, a COVID guy, or anything like that. And I'm just like, he's in the trenches again. Ollie, what would you rather do? Is Alioski your kind of guy?
Yeah, I'm going with Alioski, and it's actually because I can't swim.
Oh, right. Well, do you have to swim underwater? You just need to struggle and you move forward. Same
Or
as
just
Kate.
doggy paddle. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, that's a favourite of mine recently.
Rudolph Festival took over.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm up in the air with Alioski. He's brilliant. I love that bloke.
Could you imagine just sharing a room with
Rudolph.
Alioski? Never mind a spaceship in space. The
Mm.
tunnel at Ellen Road had enough of him by the time he left. So he was always having it. Oh, look at this. Lee Elms has come in. I knew it. Ollie's a town fan. Is that a rumour? Should we start that now? Should we start that rumour?
You can if you. I think
might
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Let's just go. With
I
it.
think all those Leeds United videos may point at someone is in the other direction, to be honest.
cover.
But
He's
yeah,
undercover. He's
Exactly.
undercover. Ollie, why is
Ask
your
his dog.
solicitor ringing me? Right, that is the end of this week's podcast. Bang on an hour. Obviously, you could, Ollie, can you tell us more about what's going on your channel, mate? Obviously, if you don't follow Ollie Ward, please do go subscribe already. Obviously, your singles just dropped today.
Yeah.
Honestly,
When's
it
the
is.
album coming?
I'm joking aside, it is really good, and I do
Thank you.
flex in front of the mirror to it. Can you tell us more about it? More about what's coming up on your channel and stuff?
Yeah, so released a song today called "Nothing to Say." You can check that out, stream it. I don't really do music like that, but some people are liking it, so appreciate you for even saying you look at that. Just as I
There
say,
it is.
and on the channel, plenty of watch-alongs. No, plenty of plenty of content coming on the way. I've been doing quite a lot of different sort of videos recently. As
Good
Danny will tell
videos.
you about, he's a massive fan. And but yeah,
Dog flavoured.
100%.
go over and just check it out. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You know what I mean? Just check it out.
Go and watch it, guys.
Well,
it's good.
I'm
good
telling
stuff.
you to go
Yeah.
watch it.
Oh, okay.
Kev, what are you going to do about them pigeons?
I've knocked them out. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So they're gone. I'll give them the left, right, good night. They ain't coming back. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
Have you hit them that many times? I think they're surrounded.
something like that, mate. Yeah.
Sorry, we do not condone violence towards animals.
No,
on
we
this
don't.
podcast.
No. Nor dogs. either.
Right. No dogs.
Yeah, back
or
Sunday. Should be
explicit
back this
content.
weekend.
No, right, yeah. I was just about to comment on that.
Okay.
Obviously, you'll find us on Sunday with the Sunday Club with me and James and Kev, and hopefully we're talking about 3 points.
We will be.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
It will be, yeah.
Anything to add, guys, before Kev makes pigeon pie for dinner?
I've got pie.
No, okay.
Wait,
And Ollie has. Ollie's got pie too in the back
Yeah,
of his
I've-
throat.
Yeah, exactly. I've already
Gravy.
eaten my pie. Exactly.
yeah, I've
Right,
got
anyway.
pie waiting for me. Seriously, I've got pie waiting for me as well. This is a great day. Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching, listening, and just putting yourself through some torment when you clear out the fridge. Yeah, so please do like and subscribe. We're nearly at 600 subscribers. So if you get us to 600, Kev will fight a pigeon live on air. And yeah, please, if you want us to make us to episode 36, please tune in next week. So thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you next week and Sunday.